Happy Monday, fight fans. Thanks for joining us. I go by the name of Ak.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully.
And this is the DAZN Boxing Show. Fresh off the jet. And
do you know today is Monday?
listen,
you understand?
I got in at 1 a.m.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So
then you're fresh off the
jet.
You're not fresh. That don't sound fresh to me.
Actually, I started to take a shower when I get off of flights and get home. I didn't always do that. So now I want to get in my bed fresh. So I took a shower when I got in at 2:30 in the morning.
Too much information.
All right, when I say fresh off the jet, it's because I'm fresh from Long Beach. Mercito Gesta versus Jojo Diaz, a very entertaining fight. Look, this was the co-main event. Obviously, we all saw what happened with Zurdo Ramirez versus Rosado. Fight didn't happen, got canceled.
Can we talk about that for a second before we go into the fight?
Let's do that.
Let's talk about that because
get it off your chest because I know you have something to talk about.
I like Ramirez. I like his team. I've always liked him. I felt like he went into the 175-pound division as an underdog in the beginning, then started knocking guys out and became somebody who was legitimately a 175-pounder. But your whole 40-something fights, 40 fights was at 168 pounds. So you move up a division, you figure, okay, you should be able to make weight comfortably 5 fights in or whatever. And to be that much overweight, now I do understand fighters are overweight the day before, and because of their past experiences, they feel like, oh, I know I could drop 8 pounds today. You understand? He must have been 20 pounds overweight. I don't know. He must have been a ridiculous amount of overweight to be 12 pounds and then come back and be like 7, 8 pounds over.
Right.
I don't get it. Why get on the scale in front of everybody? I really don't get that.
Not only that, I was saying that this weekend, like a fighter knows, first off, you're right. You know, a few pounds overweight, these fighters know what they can lose in a day. But leading up to the fight, going to the press conference, doing the face-off, stringing it along all the way up to the day of the fight to reveal that you're that much overweight is disrespectful for the entire card and your opponent, because now he's missing out on a payday and an opportunity. It's too late for them to get a last-minute replacement opponent, right? Because that's something that is always an option if you give the promotional company enough time to do that. So yes, I'm glad you brought up that point. A man that's been fighting at super middleweight his whole career, and I don't know how many fights he's fought at light heavyweight, a few, I don't know, 5, 6, but you just coming off a big fight against Babo that you lost. So it's time to redeem yourself. You want to get back on track and you have something to prove. So the first time out, fighting a guy that has moving up in weight, being this much overweight, there is a suspension in place. I spoke to the Athletic Commission of California. There is a fine and a suspension, a 6-month suspension in place. So he's trying to put his foot down so fighters do not continue to do this. And something else I suggested, Barack, to him, and I was talking to Bernard, was let's start weighing these fighters 30 days out and 15 days out to monitor the weight to avoid this from happening.
I mean, that happens. That happens with certain sanctioning bodies, but maybe it should just be certain commissions, and maybe it should just be overall
across the board,
across the board for the whole entire sport, for safety reasons, for health reasons. I'm sure the WBC would agree to that, and everybody else should agree to that. Like, this is, I don't know, I know your body can change, and all of a sudden, hey, you can't lose the same weight that you used to. You can't pack on the same muscle.
Already? After you're a grown man.
Yeah. Metabolism slows down as you get older, whatever.
True.
You never know when. But to be that much overweight, I'm not even blaming it on that. I can only say that the job just wasn't done correctly, I guess. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he thought he can lose that last bit. I'm not going to say, okay, he should have told people the day before. Fine. But damn, that much?
No.
That much overweight?
That was out of line.
Now he has to get fined. Now he has to get suspended. He has to get suspended because what happened is they feel like Gabriel Rosado just lost a purse. He was going to get 150,000, whatever, 175,000, whatever. He just lost a purse after training all of those weeks. So they want to make sure that Gilberto Ramirez misses a fight. You know what I'm saying? So if they suspend him for 6 to 8 months, then you kind of miss the payday.
Right. Yeah.
Which I guess is fair.
And Golden Boy has promised Gabe Rosado 2 dates and some cover fights. So we'll see what happens. So moving on to the main event, which by default became the main event. But honestly, Barack, it didn't fail to entertain. Like the crowd was into it. It was a nonstop action fight. Credit to both fighters. Barack, I'm going to be honest with you. I felt it was a close fight. I thought Gesta was very busy, peppery, but backing up most of the fight. And I thought Jojo Diaz landed the bigger shots throughout the entire night. Yes, he lost rounds. Yes, at times Gesta outworked him. But if I had to judge that fight, I would have gave it to Jojo Diaz. I'm not upset at them giving it to Gesta. I definitely wouldn't been upset with a draw. I thought it was a very entertaining fight, and a lot of those scores were very, very difficult to score, in my opinion. Watching it ringside, I thought Jojo pulled it off because he landed the power shots and landed a lot of body shots that I think maybe the judges overlooked. Remember, body shots are still big shots landed, not only head shots. So I think a lot of people, sometimes that goes over a lot of people's heads.
Where's CompuBox when you need him? We need to see the disparity in punches thrown and punches landed. I kind of think that, not that the numbers tell the whole story, because they don't. A lot of times, you see, he landed 20 more punches, but maybe that was in 2 rounds. It added up a lot, but in this, I think what happened was William Zepeda, his victory over Jojo Diaz kind of gave like a blueprint of how to beat a fighter like that. And that's just volume. You outwork him, you outland him. And the name of the game is boxing, hitting and not getting hit. But I just feel like Jojo Diaz, his style, doesn't fit him perfectly, because not that particular style that he fought, because he's not a power puncher.
Exactly.
So you can't give up a lot of shots to get in there to land very good, crisp, clean shots, body shots, head shots, and not even hurt your opponent. Now, I did hear him in the corner say that his hand was hurt. I think it was his left hand. I heard Julian Chua, his trainer, say, all right, don't throw it, but feint it. And I would say the same thing, feint it, act like it. Don't let him know it's hurt. Right. But I never really saw in the fight that it looked like he had a hurt hand. You know how when Gervonta Davis hurt his hand against Isaac Cruz, 10th round, you can see that he hurt his hand. He didn't throw it anymore. Right. So I don't know if maybe his hand was hurting some and he couldn't let it go 100%. But he just could not hurt Mercito no matter how flush his shots were. So do you still keep fighting that way? And then they say, okay, well, the middle rounds, he picked it up. It was really like the 7th round, he picked it up and became, someone who threw more punches. And that's the middle rounds when you're talking a 12-round fight. This was a 10-round fight.
Yeah, but the earlier rounds, he might have not been as busy, but he was landing power shots. And I agree with you.
The bigger shots.
The bigger shots. I agree with you that, that type of style suits a power puncher, that you're going to get a guy out of there. Now, credit to Gesta, who took those shots. But look, this is a guy that has been knocked out before, right? So he's a guy that can be hurt. So to your point, maybe being busier and being maybe in better shape where you can let your hands go more will suit him better, because he's not able to hurt these guys. Because when I tell you, Barack, he landed some hard shots to the body. I did think a couple of times he hurt Gesta to the body. I felt like he didn't like it. He backed up. He dropped his hands down several times with the body shots. I thought maybe he should have kept going to the body. Maybe he would have had an opportunity, to get him out of there. But look, credit to Gesta, busy fighter, came there to win. And it makes you think, man, this is the guy who was supposed to fight Ryan Garcia. And would have been an interesting fight.
I think styles make fights.
Yeah, I think Ryan would have probably got him out of there.
Yeah, the difference is that Jojo, he's going to have to realize that in 135 pound, and then if you're fighting above that, because of the weight situation, he was fighting at under 140. He's going to be the shorter guy. He's going to be the shorter guy with the shorter arms. Ryan Garcia's taller. He's longer. It's going to be a different fight between him and Mercito. So that's the difference in that. But I never really seen Mercito hurt, but then again, I know it's a difference. I watched it on TV. You was there. This kind of reminded me of Paulie Malignaggi versus Adrian Broner. I was there ringside. Everybody that I was speaking to that watched it on TV, they was like, "Oh, Paulie Malignaggi won that fight," and I was ringside, like third, fourth, fifth row, and I was like, "Damn!" But I didn't see that fight. I saw Paulie Malignaggi landing a lot of pity pats.
Peppery.
Right, pity pats. And then Adrian Broner landed some hard shots. Now, it's hard to hurt Paulie, don't get me wrong. Paulie was not really hurt at all. But those shots were hard, so I understand what you're saying. You saw a different fight maybe than what I saw watching at home on my couch. I'm like, Mercito is just busy and he's landing a lot of shots. But yes, Jojo Diaz, he was digging to the body. Listen, he has the condition, he has the chin, but does he have the power to do that kind of fight? Now, in the 12th round, I seen him jumping in with legs, boom, 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 landing his shots and then jumping out. And I think that's probably what he should have been doing. Yeah, you got to use your legs for defense. It really wasn't using much defense. It wasn't really much defense inside.
Yeah, he had his hands up and he was catching a lot of shots. And it's easier said than done when a guy is bouncing in and out like Gesta a lot and being peppery. It's not easy. Look, they both fought. Look, Jojo fought. He gave a great effort.
I'm not saying Jojo just, totally.
No, I'm saying like he fought to win that fight. He really wanted to win that fight. Like he was trying his hardest to hurt this guy. I mean, he was loading up a lot of those shots. But look, the judges felt otherwise. We need to know. I mean, it's interesting.
But even the judging was kind of like, I know Pam. I know Pam. She's a referee. I went to referee school with her. And she had it kind of lopsided for Jojo Diaz, and then the other judges had it lopsided for Mercito Gesta. Yeah. I'm like, but then again, I'm not really mad at anybody because I get it. Jojo was trying to punish him. I never fault the fighter for moving backwards. That's nothing to me. Moving backwards is nothing. Muhammad Ali did it. Floyd did it. I don't care about moving backwards. But if you're moving backwards and you're not punching, that's different. And Mercito, I'm sure if we had CompuBox, outworked him and outlanded him.
No doubt. Look, Mercito, they're talking about Gesta being on the undercard, possibly on the undercard for Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis.
That's too soon, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, that's just what people are saying. I mean, I don't see how that's possible after a 10-round bout. But Jojo Diaz, what's next for him? That's the question. Will he go back to 130? Does he feel like he can do more or for more at 135, maybe with a different style? I think he still has something in the tank. I know he doesn't want to.
This wasn't a bad loss.
I don't think. I know he doesn't want to end up being a gatekeeper. This is a former Olympian who wants to show the world that he's still one of the top fighters in the world. But another loss, so has more to prove. He texted me after the fight. He said that he'll be back, and I thought Gesta. Give him all the credit in the world. Look, he fought a good fight and he won. So
man, but the fight was so close. Why not do the rematch?
Yeah,
why not do the? Hey, go in there and fight him again. I wanted Diaz to fight Rakhmonov, but I'm saying this fight right here was close. It was differences of styles. You know what I mean? If you would have said that Diaz won, I would have said, okay, you like those power punches, But I like power punches if you're gonna hurt the fighter. But it's all good. He landed those sharper, more flush shots, So it is what it is. I say do the rematch and then let's have a conclusive winner.
I like it. We'll see what's next for those guys. That's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and love. Stay safe.